Dear representatives of the media, dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, once again, I sincerely welcome you and the official delegation of the Russian Federation to the Republic of Tajikistan. Meaningful and constructive negotiations took place today, during which we discussed a wide range of issues on the bilateral and multilateral agenda. Our dialogue, in an atmosphere of mutual understanding, once again confirms the high level of relations between Tajikistan and Russia. In this context, we called for continued political dialogue at various levels. We noted the steady growth of mutual trade. Mutual understanding and interest in building up trade and economic ties and diversifying trade turnover were confirmed. The issues of attracting investments, setting up joint ventures, and implementing joint projects in priority sectors of the economy were also discussed. These are primarily various industries, especially mining, light, food, and processing industries, as well as non-ferrous metallurgy. They also called for investment cooperation in the fields of energy, transport, and agriculture. At the same time, we attach special importance to the development of cooperation in the field of digital economy and artificial intelligence. We agreed to intensify contacts between the business circles of the two countries and create favorable conditions for investments. In the light of our recent agreements, we noted the need to implement the agreement on the establishment of an industrial park in Tajikistan as soon as possible, and stressed the importance of further developing inter-regional cooperation. It is worth noting that today about 80 subjects of the Russian Federation have agreements on trade, economic, cultural, and humanitarian cooperation with the regions of Tajikistan. In the humanitarian dimension, we have paid attention to the issues of science and education, culture and art. We noted with satisfaction the increase in Russian government quotas for students from Tajikistan. Russian Federation is grateful for the support of the training of teachers of the Russian language, the publication of textbooks and teaching aids in Russian for schools in Tajikistan, as well as the construction of 5 schools with Russian language of instruction. We are also grateful for the support and assistance in the construction of the Center for Gifted Children and the Mayakovsky Russian Drama Theater in Dushanbe. In this context, we emphasize the need to continue training specialists in the field of theater and cinema in Russia's leading specialized educational institutions. We have reached an agreement to support academic exchanges and joint research initiatives in holding forums of creative and scientific intelligentsia. They stress the importance of further expanding ties in the field of tourism and sports as a factor contributing to the rapprochement of our peoples, especially young people. During the talks, special attention was paid to regional and international security issues. We discussed the situation in the region in detail, paying special attention to such challenges and threats as terrorism, extremism, arms smuggling, and cyber threats. They stressed the importance of further coordination of efforts to effectively counter these challenges. They highly appreciated the well-coordinated cooperation between law enforcement agencies, special services, and defense departments of the two countries. They stressed the importance of strengthening cooperation in training personnel for law enforcement agencies, special services, as well as military and military technical specialists. We also exchanged views on strengthening cooperation at the venues of international and regional organizations, where our countries traditionally have similar approaches. Following the talks, we signed a solid package of bilateral documents on important areas of cooperation. In particular, Documents on labor migration were signed, which strengthen the legal basis for further development and cooperation in this area. In this context, it was noted that migration cooperation between the parties is progressing in a constructive manner. We confirmed our common readiness to further deepen partnership relations in all areas and to implement the agreements reached in practice. I am convinced that the results of today's talks will give a new impetus to the development of Tajik-Russian cooperation. They will provide additional dynamics for the implementation of joint projects and open up new horizons for our cooperation. It is with great pleasure that I give the floor to the President of the Russian Federation, dear Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. You are welcome. Dear Emomali Sharipovich, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, I would like to thank President of Tajikistan, Emomali Sharipovich Rahman, once again for the invitation to pay a state visit to Tajikistan, for the warm and cordial welcome extended to the entire Russian delegation, and for yesterday's friendly evening that we spent together. It was not only pleasant, but also very useful from the point of view of our business communication. Of course, I agree with Emomali Sharipovich. Our negotiations were really conducted in a businesslike and constructive manner, were meaningful and productive. This fully corresponds to the friendly and allied nature of our relations. We discussed in detail a wide range of issues of bilateral cooperation in politics, security, economy, trade, social, cultural, and humanitarian fields. We exchanged views on a number of pressing issues on the international and regional agenda. The joint statement adopted by Emomali Sharipovich and me sets new, big, ambitious goals for further deepening Russian-Tajik allied cooperation. The interstate, intergovernmental, and interdepartmental documents that have just been signed will also contribute to this. I would like to note that Russia is one of Tajikistan's largest foreign trade partners. Last year, the trade turnover increased by more than 7%, reaching $1.5 billion. And this year, the growth continues. As I have already said, and I would like to repeat it with pleasure, it has already grown by 17.3% this year. Our country is one of the leading investors in the Tajik economy. More than 300 enterprises with Russian participation operate in the Republic, and in total, Russian investments amounted to more than $500 million. Russia and Tajikistan have almost completely switched to using national currencies in their financial relations. Their share in commercial transactions by the end of 2024 is over 97%. Stable channels of credit and banking cooperation are being built. Russian and Tajik citizens have the opportunity to make cross-border money transfers through the fast payment system. Russian Mir payment cards are accepted in Tajikistan. The Intergovernmental Commission is actively working, through which economic cooperation programs are being implemented until 2027. As a follow-up to the program, a joint action plan has been approved to increase trade turnover 2.5 times by 2030. Our country supplies significant volumes of oil and petroleum products to the Republic, almost completely covers the needs of the Tajik economy. Moreover, energy supplies are carried out on a preferential basis, without levying export customs duties. This question was raised by the President of Tajikistan at the time. As agreed, we have fulfilled it. Russia is helping Tajikistan in the development of hydropower. The Sangtude hydropower plant, built with the participation of our country, produces 12% of the electricity consumed in the Republic. Russian companies are ready to continue to assist in the operation and modernization of existing power generation facilities in Tajikistan, while offering advanced technologies that meet the most modern safety standards and environmental requirements. We also see prospects for partnership in the peaceful atom. Rosatom State Corporation is open to cooperation and has unique competencies that have no analogs in the world. This also applies to the construction of small modular reactors. Russia and Tajikistan are implementing major joint projects in industrial cooperation. In particular, through joint efforts, a full-cycle cluster of light industry is being created in the Republic, from cotton cultivation to the production of ready-made garments. Active work is underway on the construction of the Russian-Tajik industrial park in Dushanbe. Our country is helping Tajikistan in the rehabilitation of areas affected by mining and uranium mining industries. A roadmap for joint actions on remediation of the Digmai landfill has been approved today. Let me remind you that about 1 million Tajik citizens live and work in Russia, more than 1 million. They are employed in a wide variety of industries, especially in such dynamically developing ones as construction, housing and communal services, transport, logistics, and make a significant contribution to the growth of the Russian economy. Importantly, their money transfers to their homeland are a great help for their families and for the Tajik economy as a whole. We strive to provide Tajikistan citizens with decent working conditions and social protection. Russian relevant agencies are in close contact with their Tajik counterparts on all relevant migration policy issues. Cooperation in the cultural and humanitarian fields is also advancing. As is known in Tajikistan, Russian has the constitutional status of the language of interethnic communication. We know how much attention the President of the Republic pays to this, and we express our most sincere gratitude. A joint project of school education in Russian is being successfully implemented. About 5,700 students study in 5 schools in Dushanbe and other cities according to Russian educational programs and standards of education. Last year, more than 100 teachers from Russia were sent to Tajikistan to teach as part of the Russian Teacher Abroad initiative. About 35,000 students study at Russian universities and their branches in the Republic, as well as at the Russian-Tajik Slavic University. One of the largest quotas among the CIS countries, 1,000 Russian state scholarships, has been allocated for the needs of the Republic. With the support of Russia, an international educational center for gifted children and a new building of the Vladimir Mayakovsky State Russian Drama Theater are being built in Dushanbe. This is also an initiative of the President of the Republic. We expect that these cultural facilities will be put into operation as early as 2027. This year, the 80th anniversary of victory in the Great Patriotic War was widely celebrated in our countries. This is indeed a common victory for all the peoples of the Soviet Union. We understand well and know the price it came at. We cherish the memory of the heroism of our fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers who defended life and freedom for the future generations of our countries. I would like to take this opportunity to once again express my gratitude to Emomali Sharapovich for accepting our invitation and coming to Moscow on May 9 for the Victory Day celebrations. And a unit of the Armed Forces of Tajikistan took part in the solemn parade on Red Square. The discussion of current foreign policy issues once again confirmed the common positions of the two countries. Russia and Tajikistan are committed to the principles of the supremacy of international law, sovereignty, and non-interference in internal affairs. We closely coordinate approaches at key multilateral platforms: the UN, the CSTO, and the SCO. This year, Tajikistan successfully holds the presidency of the Commonwealth of Independent States, and we naturally strive to provide our Tajik friends with all possible assistance. And tomorrow, as you know, the CIS Leaders Summit will be held. Russia has traditionally made a significant contribution to maintaining peace and stability in the Central Asian region. At the same time, we are actively cooperating with our Tajik colleagues, developing defense, military technical, anti-terrorist, and anti-drug cooperation. The 201st Russian military base stationed in Tajikistan is also the guarantor of security in Tajikistan and throughout the region. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize once again that we are always ready to expand our cooperation. We are also satisfied with the negotiations that took place today. I am convinced that their results will contribute to the further strengthening of multifaceted Russian-Tajik relations for the benefit of our countries and the peoples of our states. Thank you for your attention.